What's going on, guys? So we're back out here again today to talk about the Tacticam Reveal X. So just like all the other cell cam videos, I do them all the same way. I come out here behind the house where I know I'm going to get deer pictures. I've got some of that daggum feed on me. Where I know I'm going to get some deer pictures, and I'll set them up over a bait pile so we can see how they work. The things that I'm looking for whenever I'm looking at one of these cell cams is the usability, how good a service it gets, how reliable is it on sending pictures, how reliable is it on sending them when you get the pictures. I know some of you guys set them on sending the photos once a day. I don't do that. I send them immediately because if I'm going to use this, I'm going to try to use it off of hunting with. Anyways, and then the battery life of them. How good is the battery life? And then finally, the durability. And what I'm talking about durability is, does it get a bunch of moisture on the lens? Does it allow moisture to get in and get on the battery pack and ruin the batteries? So on and so forth. So, out of all the other cameras that I've messed with, the Spy Points, the Muddies, the, I don't know, the little adapter that goes on top of cameras to make them cell cams. I'm not hating on those guys' cameras, but I will say that this Tacticam Reveal X is the bee's knees. It is, for the money, it is by far the best cell camera that is on the market. I don't care, argue with me, fight me, I don't care. Get in the comments and tear me up about it. For the money, you can't beat this camera. I've seen them listed everywhere from $89 on sale up to like $149 when nobody could find them. So everybody, you know, price gouge the hell out of them so they get a little bit more money out of people. It is what it is. It's worth 150 bucks. I'd pay $200 for this camera. This camera has been absolutely phenomenal. Those Muddy cameras, not trying to talk bad about them, I fought with those things from the day I put them out. This camera took me about 10 minutes to set up in the house. That's downloading the app, getting everything transferred over, getting a picture of the deal so it picked up the camera. It took me about 10 minutes. I hit a test photo. Service in my house is terrible, so the test photo did take like 10-15 minutes to come through. I was almost out here to set it out by the time the test photo came through. Test photo went through, so it lets with important things. The test function lets you know immediately, you know, or within 10 minutes that your camera's functioning and it's operating like it is, as it should be. It's going to let you know that you have service, right? So I ran one at the house just to make sure it was working. Drove out here, stuck it on the tree, hit test. By the time I put out, like, just started dumping feed, it had already sent it back to the wife, and she sent me a text message. It was like, hey, it's good to go. So usability of it, user friendly, is extremely easy. You don't have to be a rocket scientist with these things. Turn them on, set the date and time just like you do the rest of them, take the photo, it automatically picks it up, and you're good to go. The next thing we're going to talk about is the battery life. So I don't want to say it's good or bad, because one thing that I am not able to test here, guys, is like how well it will do on public land. And the reason that I'm saying that, so on a bait pile, where, like back here behind the house, I average 500 pictures a day usually. So at 500 pictures a day, a set of AA batteries, the cheap ones will last about a week and a half. The more expensive batteries, the Duracells and those kind, they'll last, you know, 2.5 weeks. So, you know, averaging 250 to 700 pictures a day, yeah, it fluctuates, right? It's a big gap. I don't think that's bad. That's still pretty solid. You know, if I can get a week, because all I'm trying to do is, I know I have to come out here and bait once a week anyways. So if I'm producing that many photos, if the camera would just last me until I can get back out here to get a, was that a deer? Bo says it was. I'm pretty sure a deer just ran over this ridge on my right hand side. Anyways, so if I can get the batteries to last just until the next week when I can get back out here and put some feed out, that's great. So just to let you know how many pictures I get, we have to use a 32 gigabyte card. So that lets you know, if you know anything about cameras or whatever, like I can't get away with an 8 or a 16. If I'm going to leave it out here a week to 2 weeks, I've got to have a 32 gigabyte card. So it's doing a lot of work. It's constantly sending, photos every day. So I would like to think if you had it on public land and you weren't running bait because you're not supposed to here in Arkansas, if you just had it over a trailhead crossing and you're getting that, I've had some places where I would get 50 photos a day. I've had other places where, all I was getting was that 2 or 3 because I was just trying to catch that buck and his main corridor coming in and out. It'll probably last you a couple of months. So there's the battery life. Last thing, durability. this thing is awesome. So I have had to come out here one time and mess with the antenna because the coons tried to tear it off the tree. It was literally still taking pictures though. It was still sending the photos, but it was sending them down at the ground. So it is what it is. But with the signal strength, down here where I'm standing at right now, as you can tell, it's bottoms. I do not get service on hardly anything. Sitting up in the tree that's 16 yards from here, I get 1 bar of service. It's just enough where I can send a text message, couldn't answer a phone call or send a picture if I wanted to. So cell service, I have Verizon. It does outstanding. It's about twice as good as these iPhone 13s. I don't know why the cell service on this over here is better than this, but if this person could figure that out, that would be outstanding. But anyways, no, it does phenomenal. Picture quality, that is going to be the only dig that I'm going to talk about here. So having it over a feed pile, it's absolutely great, but you can see a little bit of graininess in some of the pictures when the deer are moving. So you get that kind of cheap camera is what I talk about, that cheap camera kind of look. If a deer's moving through here kind of fast or whatever, you get that kind of blur. So if you have it out on some sort of public land or whatever, try to put it over a scrape. You can have it on a trail crossing or whatever, but try not to put it where, you know, it's just like this and the deer are crossing straight in front of it. Try to angle that camera. That's just a little insight that I use anyways. If I ever go put a camera on public land and I've got it on a trail, I try not to get it where they're just crossing straight over it. I will try to get it at just enough of an angle where it gets a couple of pictures of the deer coming in or out. And I think if you do that, you're going to be perfectly fine. Even if you have that sideways photo of it, it's not grainy enough that you can't tell what it is. So it's not the Tasco at that point, because we all know these little Tascos, they're great for still shots, but they're not so awesome at moving shots. So yeah, so the graininess of it, I'm going to rate it like an 8 out of 10. That tells you. So it's still, look how big that son of a bitch is. It's still pretty solid. I don't have any complaints about it. And then, so we talked about the battery, we talked about the signal life, we talked about the durability and how tough it is, and we talked about the photo quality. What else is there to say? So for $119, you can get this camera, you can have it set out in 10 or 15 minutes, and it is outstanding. I can't speak on the AT&T ones, but I will speak for the guys that are on the page that say that they have nothing but good luck out of them. I have not had one single issue with this camera. It does awesome. It's sending me a notification whenever the battery's going to die. So I know 2 or 3 days ahead of time, hey, I've got to get out here and get the battery changed. It's not like my other camera. Some of the other ones are where they just die. They're supposed to send you a notification. They don't. So you're not going to miss any shots there. It sends 1 for 1 with that Tasco. All right, guys. So at this point, we're going to go ahead before we even get to talking about it. Here's some photos of the Reveal versus the Tacticam. So you can see the picture quality and that kind of thing. Check these out. All right, guys, so if you're still with me at this point, earlier you've seen the difference in between the 2 photos, and so I wanted to talk about that for a minute too. They are 1 for 1. So if I get a picture on one camera, if I get a picture from the Reveal, so that's what I wanted to test, right? I wanted to come out here and look and see, did the Reveal send a photo at the same time the Tasco took a photo, because the Tasco's not trying to send anything, it's just taking them and storing them on a card. It is 1 for 1. I don't have anything bad to say about this Tacticam Reveal X. It's absolutely outstanding. I can promise you I'm going to own more of them. I'm going to carry some up to my cabin, put some out on public land, and maybe this next year or later on in the year we can get back with you on battery life on public land versus on private land, because like I said, over a feed pile, I don't expect the batteries to last a long time because I'm getting a whole bunch of pictures. So anyways, guys, that's all I've got. We're getting really close to the rut here in Arkansas. I hope everybody's got these Tacticam Reveal X's out and trying to get a picture of that target buck so you can move in on him, figure out where his home's at. Anyways, guys, good hunting. We'll catch you next time. I hope this helped. Don't forget, leave a comment down in the bottom of something you want to see reviewed. Don't care what it is. We'll find it. We'll email them. We'll talk to the company. We'll see if we can get our hands on one. If not, I'll just go buy one. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and don't forget, ding that little bell on the top, because you never know, we're going to do a video that is over something you didn't even realize you needed. Good hunting, guys. We'll catch y'all next time.